Bam! My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Y'all know what we doing, man. First of all, let me just say, happy Friday, my peoples. Come on now, it's Friday. It's a beautiful day. We're up, and we're about to talk boxing. How much better could it really get to kick off your day? Let's get it. Um, First of all, shout out to my people who's already in the building, always showing love, always supporting Jay Smith. Toy Mafia salute, side in the building early on. Daniel Negron, Sean Johnson, ooh, the peoples is in the building. The real ones is in the building. I told you before, my peoples, y'all got issues. You talking boxing, listening to boxing this early in the morning, y'all need therapy. And this is it right here, my people's Boxing for Breakfast. I'm Jay Smith. Let's kick this thing off right away, man. Listen, this Friday morning, I'm about to smoke. I'm not playing games with y'all this morning. The topic of conversation of Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis fighting each other keeps coming up. People keep saying they gotta fight. They're gonna have to fight for the right amount of money. They're gonna fight. I got something to say about that. My peoples. I've heard so many comparisons of fighters who knew each other. They still fought each other. And people saying that they can make a lot of money. So why now they have to do it? Let me tell you something, my peoples. Take it from Jay Smith. And I ain't a millionaire. I ain't never seen millions of dollars, nothing like that. But some things are more important than money. So I would ask you guys a question. If you don't want to do something, would you do it because other people want you to do it? Think about that. If there's something that you don't want to do, and there's a lot of people saying, yo, you should do it. Yeah, it's good, do it. But you don't want to, would you do it? If you're not a sheep, if you're not a golf ball, you're not going to do it. Because you're going to say, screw what y'all want me to do. It's what I want to do. I don't want to do it. You're not going to do it. So if Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis, if they've been friends all this time, if they have this type of relationship, are they going to fight each other because other people want them to fight? Because fans say, yo, y'all gotta fight. Shit, man, we gotta fight. They pushing us to fight, I guess. The money. Both of them can make millions of dollars without fighting each other. They don't need to fight each other to make a lot of money. What people fail to understand that everybody doesn't want all the millions in the world. You ever heard the phrase, all money is not good money? Ever heard that phrase? Some people don't have a filter. Whatever it takes, I'm getting this money. But some people have a filter. It's just that simple. Gabriel Corona, boxing soft. The fact that best people don't want to fight each other says something. MMA way better. Way better competition. Stay face the champ no matter what. Okay, that's your opinion. You're talking about boxing and MMA over these two fighters alone. Everybody fighting each other. These two guys had you make an opinion on boxing. Out of all the world champions, everybody that's out there, these two guys made you decide that boxing is soft because they don't fight each other. That's crazy. That's wild. Just say you don't like boxing, bro. Go to MMA page, MMA channel, and talk that shit. But you subscribe to this channel and waited 2 days just to say that about boxing? Come on, man. Come on. Listen, Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis, they can make a lot of money fighting each other, but they don't have to fight each other. That's the thing. They don't have to fight each other. Gabriel Corona is saying there should be one champ in one weight class. Okay? And that's your opinion. Obviously, you see all the weight classes have a bunch of champions unless there isn't an undisputed. All the weight classes. You're going to bring this up with them too? I don't see you bringing that up at 135. Now you got to bring it up at 140. That don't make no sense. I haven't heard, like, you never said that when they was at 135 for other champions. You're saying it for Shakur and Keyshawn. It's just that you don't like them, be honest. You don't like them, so you're like, nah, they gotta fight each other. Somebody gotta take a L. Says they're gonna beat my guys. Side, that'll be a great fight. They got plenty of other great fights. Hitchin versus Keyshawn. Let's get it. See? Right now, we already know Shakur Stevenson is going to fight Teofimo Lopez. Finally got that super fight that he's been waiting for, that he's been wanting, that's been eluding him. Shakur Stevenson got that fight. There you go. Teofimo Lopez is someone who there'll be a lot of folks expecting him to win this fight. It's a good one. Marie, that fight between Hitchens versus Keyshawn ain't happening because that's too much. If they'll price themselves, who's gonna give you so much money? A couple years ago, champions, they got 200K. Now listen, if they both want to fight each other, they're gonna fight. They already know that Keyshawn is gonna be the A side, or closely the A side, not by much. But he is the bigger star out of them too. So they're gonna make it happen. That's a big money fight. They'll both get paid. Even the B side is gonna make big money too. But the whole landscape of the pound for pound list is going to change with this fight. Remember that I told you Shakur is consistently in the pound for pound list ranked 6 or 7. Right there. 6, 7, 6, 7. With this win, he's going to crack the top 5. Remember I told you that. That win right there. That's a big win. Shakur Stevenson beating Teofimo Lopez is a big win. But if Teofimo wins that fight, because I'm not making no prediction, right? You guys know that my official prediction goes on Box Center 2.0. If Teofimo can win this fight, he's on the pound for pound list. That's how big of a win this is for the guy that walks out of there with the W. It's big. It's a big one, my people. But I gotta say, the whole situation with Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis, it shows how people really don't care about the fighters. They just care about the entertainment that they can get out of it. And that's it. You don't give a damn about the fighters. Fight each other. The way I see it, you see when we was little kids in the playground, that it would be two kids that they know how to fight and they friends, and people pushing them to fight each other, and they don't want to fight. But then somebody push one from behind and he bump into the kid, so he pushes them back. And before you know, the crowd forces them, to fight each other. Remember that when you was a kid? In high school, junior high school? We all witnessed stuff like that. And it's like now, it's the same. I get the same sense from fans. Like, there's these two friends that are both at an elite level, and fans don't even care that they friends, that they don't want to fight. You're like, nah, fight. push them together. Oh, push them from behind, make them fight each other. He hit you, he spit on you, he hit you first. Why, like acting like they little kids, or even acting like they animals. Make the animals fight. Make them fight each other. That's what they do, fight, even if you don't want to. I'm like, my peoples, let me explain to you something. Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, yo, they human beings like me and you. They regular people. They world champions and they perform at the highest level, but they regular people too. They got family, they got friends, they got people that they close with. And let me tell you something. That phrase rings true every day. All money is not good money. If you got a real one with you, somebody that you know is rocking with you in the highs and in the lows, guess what? That's worth more than money. And y'all don't understand that. That could be worth a lot more than money. Because we fight each other, we break this friendship, and it could never be the same again. And the money's not going to be worth it because we can make millions without fighting each other. That friendship is more. But people are so money hungry. You're going to make more money, fight each other. You got to fight each other. That's what you got to do. Fuck you mean we got to fight each other? That's why I ask people, if somebody want you to do something that you don't want to do, you do it to satisfy them. So you have to understand, boxing is a sport and boxing is a business. That's what that is. So why would I give away my close friendship that I got with my brother over business if I don't have to? If I could still make millions of dollars without us having to fight each other. If this is going to affect our friendship or maybe make us enemies going forward, why are we going to do it for money? We're going to sell our friendship, our bond. We're going to sell it for money because everybody's money hungry and they want us to be money hungry too and have no limit, no cap on what we're willing to do for that money. So guess what? I actually go the other way. I commend Shakur and Keyshawn for not selling their friendship, for not putting it up for sale and say, yeah, we friends, but this money, fuck our friendship, nigga, we fighting. Nah. If you old enough, you know, my peoples, I'm 47 years old. There's not a lot of real friends out there. There's not a lot of people that's gonna be there when you go down. A lot of people could be there when you up, when everybody loving you, when everybody feeling you. But if you go down, if you fall off, when you got problems, when you got issues, so guess what? That's the type of bond that they have. I'ma be there for you if you need me, when you need me. Not a lot of people like that. So if both of you are already rich, both of you already making millions, you don't need to sell what you got going on for money. That costs a lot more than money. People don't understand that we live in an era where it's about greed. It's about who's making the most money, who got the most money, who put the most butts in seats, and who sold the most pay-per-view. Nah, everybody's not like that, my peoples. There's a lot of fighters who actually have a filter. I'll give you an example. Lomachenko, he got a filter. He could have fought Tank Davis, and he could still make big fights, but he got a filter. He got a lot of money. He don't need to make the most money out of everybody. The money that he got, the lifestyle that he lived, he got generational wealth. He'll never be broke. So there's a lot of fighters out there that they don't need to make the most money and they don't need to have the most. Nah. We're making a lot of money. We're making millions. We millionaires. We don't need to fight each other for money. We don't have to. Naeem, that's when you have a crew. Half of the beef in boxing and rap music is started by management and the crew. They get too comfortable. That's a fact. That's a fact. People get too comfortable. People feel like I'm a part of this too. And before you know it, they get reckless. Marie, But some people see it differently. Like Mike Tyson said, he really your friend. You're gonna try to make each other rich, making millions. But for me, friendship over money, unless we both broke. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Friendship over money, because here's the deal. There's things that you could do for money, and you know you're gonna make money. So Shakur don't fight Keyshawn, but he fight Tio. He know he gonna make money. If he don't fight Keyshawn, but he fight Dev, he know he gonna make money, right? So you know that you could make millions, but you can't make friends like that, my peoples. You can't buy friends. When you try to buy friends, you know what happens? They the ones that set you up. You going into your house and you get robbed. They the ones that set you up. You leaving the ATM and somebody waiting for you. Those are the ones. When you try to buy friends, fucked up shit happens to you because you bought them. They not your friends. So when you have real friends, that don't have a price, my peoples. You can't buy friends. You could try to buy friends. You could try to buy people, but they're gonna know you buying them, and they're just gonna follow through until they decide to shit on you. Understand that. Santiago Ramirez, good morning, brother. How you doing this morning? Good, family. We talking boxing. Friday morning, we talking boxing. It don't get no better. Alex, who you looking forward to seeing in 26, brother? Well, right away, Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. You know we got that going on January 31st. And I'm super, super excited about that fight, family. Super excited. I'm going to tell you guys something funny about this fight. When Teofimo Lopez was going back and forth with Jerome Boots Ennis, and it didn't work out, Boots, he didn't want to deal with Turkey Al Sheikh. That's what it looks like. But when that didn't work out, I did a poll right away. Like, yo, y'all don't think he should fight Shakur next, or should he fight somebody else? Yo, nobody wanted Teofimo Lopez to fight Shakur. Everybody was like, nah, he should fight Subriel Matias and unify, or he should fight this other guy because that fight's going to be more interesting. Nah, if Shakur fight Teo, it's going to be a boring fight. People just didn't want it. Yo, I did like 4 or 5 different polls, and the votes were mad lopsided. People against him fighting Shakur. Fight somebody else. And that made me feel like, damn, people just don't want Shakur to have that big fight. They don't want Shakur to have that opportunity to prove it. They want to keep holding on to the narrative like, nah, he ain't beat nobody. He ain't really done nothing. Now he got Teofimo Lopez in front of him. That super fight, that big fight. Come on now, my people. So Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, when it was announced, I was like, oh, shit. We got it. Here we go. To kick off 2026 with this joint right here, Ace, legit super fight. Look what I said yesterday. People not understanding what we getting. Listen to what I said yesterday, bro. This fight right here, it's like Sugar Ray Leonard versus Duran. Like, this is that type of fight. I'm not exaggerating. That's not cap. This is some Sugar Ray Duran type of fight. And people don't realize it. Like, they hate so much on Shakur. And then there's also the people that hate on Teofimo, that they don't understand the type of fight that this is. They not really seeing it. All I have to tell you is, so that you can see that this is some Sugar Ray Leonard versus Duran type of fight, look at Shakur Stevenson's accomplishments. Look at Teofimo Lopez's accomplishments. And then look at their age. Neither one of them is even 30 years old yet. Neither one of them is 30. So this is not one of those fights where you have 2 of the best of the era facing each other at the tail end of their career at 40 years old, 41. Nah, yo, they in their 20s. Like, let me give you an example. You imagine Bivol and Better BF if they would have fought each other when they was both 26, 27 years old. We got some great fights, but you imagine if they was 26, 27 fighting each other? So Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, they giving us that fight at the perfect time, my peoples. It is perfect. And I'm not saying that if they would have gave it to us at 30, 31, it's not perfect. But man, listen. This is where it's at, my peoples. Ace, good morning. The people win in that boxing match in their prime. We all get the W, bro. We all get the W. Marie, but for Tio, he will make that much money against all those other guys. The biggest bag is one of his Shakur. He knows that, but fans said that because they know that will happen to Tio. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, they're both going to make a lot of money. And they're both going to make a lot of money when they fight somebody else, too. So I don't get into all that narrative of who's going to make more, who's going to get more. They both millions. They both millionaires. They both rich young men. Sai, Pacheco versus Lele. Hey, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. MAW. Yo, what up, Jay in chat? Tio versus Shakur should be fire. Salute, MAW. Listen, man. Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. I've been trying to tell the people, this is going to be like Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran. That type of fight. And folks just don't understand that. Since they've been hating on Shakur all this time, like, he ain't done that, he ain't beat nobody. Hating on Teofimo. Look, think about it. Look at the accomplishment in Teofimo Lopez. And there's people that up until this point, all they say about him, he lost to Cambosos. If that's all you can say about Teofimo Lopez, that he lost to Cambosos, that just means that you don't know shit about boxing. Literally don't know shit about the sport of boxing. This dude is literally one of the best in the game right now, one of the most accomplished. Come on now. Ghetto Alpaca. Easy pickings. Whoa, easy? I don't know about all that, man. I don't know. I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be competitive. Kent Jr., Jake Paul, pour more eyes on the sport than anybody else. Don't care what anybody says about him. He might get killed by Anthony Joshua, but he still did good by the sport. Let me tell you something, Kent Jr. I'm one of the people that's been always, criticizing him over the opponent, saying fight a real fighter, stop fighting these retired boxers and all of that. I'm giving him his flowers. Stepping in there with Anthony Joshua exceeds all of our expectations. I would have been happy if Jake Paul would have fought, somebody around his age with a record of 14-2. That would have been good enough for me, bro. That would have been perfect for me. That would have been like, okay, you fighting somebody. If he fights somebody ranked in the top 20, that would have been good enough for me. This guy really decided that he's going to fight a two-time heavyweight champion of the world, bro. This is so crazy that people refuse to believe it's real. There's people out there that just won't accept it. That they're like, this got to be fake. This cannot be real. By the way, my peoples, 11 likes, man, why y'all got to do me like this? What I do wrong this morning to have 11 likes when I'm cooking this sweet science breakfast for y'all, man? Yo, double tap that screen, man. Stop playing with me, y'all. But listen, I'm giving Jake Paul his flowers. And I'm going to tell you why. I've been criticizing him all this time, saying, Jake Paul, you ain't doing shit. We tired of your bullshit. He's stepping in there with Anthony Joshua, my people. If he go to sleep in the first round, I'm still giving him credit. I'm still like, you had the balls to get in there with a two-time heavyweight champion of the world that's much bigger than you, much stronger than you, like 20, 30 pounds heavier than you come fight night. You got to give him his credit, my people. regardless of how soon he go to sleep, you got to give him his credit because not a lot of people is going to get in there with AJ. And I'm telling you, there's going to be a real fight. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it confused, my people. This a real fight. It's not going to be fake. Anthony Joshua is not with the goofballery. You never seen nothing about the way Anthony Joshua move that tell you that he down with no clown show. So if AJ tell you this is real, if he signed a contract, if he's gonna be on the box rec, it's real. You don't need to question that. It's disrespectful for you to even say that this guy's gonna take a dive. That shit is disrespectful, bro. Creta, loco. This dude been making millions of dollars for you know how many years? Millions and millions per fight. You think he's gonna get a payday and take a dive to Jake Paul? You wildin'. You wildin' out, my people. Remember what he did to Francis Ngannou? The mindset that he had going into that fight was like, oh, you gonna come from MMA and you really believe that you could beat me? Oh, you could beat me? Okay. I'm gonna show you what this boxing shit is about over here. And you saw how that played out. Absolutely destroyed Francis Ngannou. So Jay Paul is a guy who's been training 5-6 years. He knows how to box. He's not an elite level boxer. He doesn't have an amateur pedigree. Come on now. Come on now, my people. What can you expect when there's such a gap in skills between these two fighters? Anthony Joshua is looking at Jake Paul like, this motherfucker really believe he could beat me. My people, that's disrespectful. Jake Paul is disrespecting Anthony Joshua. Do you not see that? and you gotta give him his flowers for even being crazy enough to think that he can win that fight. Because he believe it. He believe it. He believe it himself. But it's gonna be a brutal knockout. If the corner or the ref don't save him, it's going to be a devastating knockout, my people. Alex, why are we even talking about this circus shit? Ain't boxing. Here's why, Alex. Because we've been asking Jake Paul to fight a real boxer. Ka-ching! And does it get more real than Anthony Joshua? Come on, Alex. It's almost like I told you, I was on your side of the fence, but I accept what's happening. You don't. You're already stuck on that side. Like, no matter what Jake Paul does, you're like, no, everything is fake. Nothing is real. I can't accept it. Then Jake Paul goes to sleep with a brutal right hand to the kisser, knocked out unconscious, and you're probably going to be like, nah, he's acting. He's not really stiff like that in the floor. That's acting skills. Daniel Negron, yo, bro, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You know how they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Some people just, when they get stuck on something, that's it. They stuck. You can't teach them a new trick. Come on now. Come on now. They boxers. You're right. And in boxers, that's what people do. Everybody's not writing scripts and faking stuff. It's gonna be a devastating knockout. That's the way that it plays out. The hydro grind in the building. Jake has to be seeing it like, I'll make over 100 million to get knocked out. More you take it too? Nah, I don't think that's how you see it. Because look, you're seeing it from the perspective of he's going in there to lose. Nah. Jake Paul is actually seeing it like, yo, if I beat this guy, if I land that haymaker and I knock this guy out, I'm going to turn the boxing world upside down. I'm going to really now take over boxing. That's how he's looking at it. Because it's the impossible, right? We're expecting him It's like unanimous. Look what you're saying, right? You're like, hey, he's gonna get knocked out. He's not looking at it like, oh, I'm gonna get knocked out for this much money. He's looking at it like, yo, I could make history. I could do something that's gonna be the impossible to replicate. Alex, everyone said the same with Tyson, even at 60. I don't know what you're saying that everyone said, because I said specifically Jake Paul was gonna beat Mike Tyson up. So when you say everyone, you're definitely not talking about me. You need to go back. I told y'all, Jake Paul's gonna beat Mike Tyson up. Mike Tyson is too old. Them little 30-second videos, they had everybody fooled. Mike Tyson himself said he was running out of gas. He would do 30 seconds for the videos, for the promo. When they pause the camera, ready to pass out. I was thinking Mike Tyson was gonna be the old Mike Tyson. Because you don't know shit about boxing, I try to tell you. Corey, Jake Paul gonna knock out Joshua with an overhand right hand in the 8th round, and that's the last round. Very doubtful, man. Hopefully you don't put any money on that. Hopefully. If you put money on that, you're cooked. Cooked. That Sunday, you're not gonna show up for boxing for breakfast. You're gonna sleep in late. That's your grind. You think he generally think he got a shot 100%. 100%. Jake Paul would not get in there if you don't think he got a shot. He knows he's going to be the underdog going in, but he feels he got a shot. Shinobi Vance. Oh, his fights are fixed, bro. Oh, you like the conspiracies. Cool story, family. Alex. UK always beats US, my dude. We got the bigger stars right now. Okay, I don't know what that got to do with anything, but you got it. Okay, big dog. My peoples, listen to this. The whole conversation about Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson fighting each other. But at the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson got something on his plate right now, as does Teofimo Lopez. Come on now. Come on, my peoples. This fight right here, people don't understand the significance of it. We're talking about AJ and Jake Paul. Cool stuff. That's an 8-rounder. That's an 8-rounder. This right here is a championship fight between two of the best young fighters of this era in their prime. Both going in as reigning world champions, because Shakur is a reigning world champion at 35, Teofimo Lopez reigning world champion at 40. Ring Magazine belt on the line, and whatever other titles. Come on, my peoples. This is a mega fight. That's why I try to tell folks, when you look at Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, you could compare that to Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran. You can actually make that comparison. That fight back then, look at, especially the first one, how old they were. They were both young. They were both in their prime. Both undefeated. In this case, Teo got one loss. But neither one of these guys is 30 years old. Neither one of them. So, this is that fight that a lot of people didn't want to see Teofimo Lopez get. Come on now. A lot of people, and they didn't want to see Shakur Stevenson in this fight. You know why? Because if you floated the narrative that Shakur Stevenson didn't beat nobody, that Shakur Stevenson didn't fight nobody, that his resume's not all that. That's the narrative that you always try to cling on to, you don't want to see him get this fight. Because now your narrative is going to have to shift. Oh, yeah, but he only beat Teofimo. But Teofimo got beat by Cambosa. But Teofimo's not. You're going to have to find a new narrative. Once Shakur put that name in the box. So people honestly did not want him to get this fight. Alex Stevenson struggled with upcomer Josh Padley a few months ago. I don't know how you're saying that he struggled, but the fact that you're bringing up Josh Padley after you saw what he did to William Zepeda, that just says you don't like Shakur. Let me guess, you're still bringing up Gamboa. That fight was more than 10 years ago. And you still probably was like, yo, look at what Gamboa did to Crawford. Imagine what Canelo's gonna do to him. You should have learned that that argument is irrelevant, my brother. Alex, if you didn't know, let me be the one to teach you. Never bring up a fight from before. That has nothing to do with nothing. That's like the ultimate I don't know shit about boxing line that you can use. Look what happened with this other guy. How exactly did a fight with Josh Padley help William Zepeda? What did that do for Zepeda? Not a goddamn thing, right? So don't use that. It might sound good coming out, but it's horrible. It's horrible. Alex, if that's the case, why do fighters watch their last fights, brother? What do you mean? What does watching their last fight have anything to do with saying, oh, he struggled, so look at the results? That has nothing to do. You're connecting dots that don't connect, family. Styles make fights. Nobody's gonna dominate everybody. Did you see Floyd Mayweather dominate Maidana in the first fight? No. Did you see him dominate Castillo in the first fight? No. Nobody dominates everybody, Alex. Whoever's your favorite fighter, they don't dominate everybody. Nobody dominates everybody, Alex. That's what you need to learn. Nobody. Everybody that you find, they don't dominate everybody. It's not about holes because nobody's going to be perfect ever. Ever. You have to understand that. You're like, no, but to close holes. Yes, but at the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson did not struggle versus Josh Padley, who he stopped. Like, come on, bro. What are you doing? He struggled versus a guy that he stopped. And Shakur is not known as a knockout artist. He's not going around knocking everybody out. Knocked out Josh Padley, and he struggled. That's not a very reasonable assessment, Alex. Easy win for Teofimo. I respect that, Dilbert, and I'm going to tell you why, because they both great fighters in their prime. Teofimo Lopez is someone who has accomplished a lot. Gio, easy money for Shakur. You see what I'm saying? There you have it. And Alex, you're talking about Shakur's struggle with Padley, who he knocked out. Bro, by your same logic, Teofimo Lopez got beat up by Cambosos. Alex, we have to acknowledge some fighters who see weakness and some don't learn from their. Or again, Shakur Stevenson beat Josh Padley by stoppage. What are you doing bringing up that fight to say that he struggled? Teofimo Lopez got beat up by Cambosos. Then by default, what are we talking about? What point are you really making? You're not making any point. You go and watch video, win, lose, or draw. You make mistakes, win, lose, or draw. You could knock a guy out in the 5th round and still have some things that you would have took back. Still say, damn, in the 3rd round, I took some punches I should have never took. So it's not about win, lose, or draw. You're trying to make it seem like, oh, if they lose, he struggled versus Padley, which I don't know how you see he struggled versus a guy he stopped, but that's crazy. I've never heard anyone other than people who don't like Shakur say that he struggled versus Josh Padley. Anyone. At all. I just haven't heard it. I saw a Padley that was a good fighter, a guy who had never lost, but had never fought to that competition, but can fight. And he was there to fight, and ultimately he got outclassed and stopped. That's what actually happened in that fight. I actually like Shakur, bro. Just give him my 2 cents. Yeah, you definitely a Shakur Stevenson hater. 100% a Shakur Stevenson hater. Trust me, I already know. Shakur Stevenson haters always do that. They make a point against him, and then at the end they say, but no, trust me, I'm one of his fans. Yeah, you're without a doubt one of his haters. Without a doubt. You make a whole point that the haters make, and then you cap it off with, I'm one of his fans. He one of my favorite fans. But I'm gonna say, Sai, Tio getting cooked. I'm gonna say, look, you know how good this fight is gonna be when you have even this morning, people saying Tio gonna get cooked, people saying Shakur gonna get cooked. I seen someone saying easy work for Tio, and I seen people saying easy work for Shakur. What that tell us right there? When both fighters have people saying, yo, easy work, somebody lying. Somebody lying. Some of you liars. You a liar, because it ain't going to be easy for somebody. For somebody, definitely ain't going to be easy. Who lying up in here? Who's lying, my people? Come on now. Quan Ray, easy work for Shakur. You see what I'm saying, Quan Ray? We have the people that saying that it's easy work for Tio, and we have the people saying easy work for Shakur. Somebody lying up in here. Some of y'all lying your ass off. The Hydrogrind. Tio is the best when he's an underdog. I don't even know Tio's been an underdog since I don't know when, bro. When has Tio been an underdog? Sam, it's going to be a great scrap. I agree with you, man. I've been comparing this one to Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran. That's what I've been comparing this one with. Look at both of those fighters. They fought, especially the first time, and look at these two fighters. Look at the accomplishments. Look at their age. I just said it earlier. Neither one of these guys is even 30 years old yet. Ain't not even 30 yet, my peoples. Young guns. Both reigning champions. Shakur at 135, Tio at 140. Both multi-division champions, unified champions. Come on now. This is a big fight. People have to understand what we're about to watch. Wilson Clear, Tio will present problems to Shakur. I still have Shakur edging. Shakur gonna actually get touched on this fight because Tio athleticism. You see, that's why I've been saying that it's gonna be competitive. It's hard for me to see anybody getting washed, anybody getting made to look easy. All of that stuff, I just can't see it. I just can't see it, my brother. Because just look at the run that Teofimo has been on. Look at what the fights that he's been on. And then look at Shakur Stevenson, although the haters keep hating. That's what they're going to do with Shakur. But look at the run that he's been on. The type of opponents that he's beating. And what does that tell you? Both of these guys are on a run. Both of these guys are trying to get to a certain level in their career to get to say, not just I'm the best of this division, they want to say I'm the best of this era. They want to go into all-time records. That's what both of these guys are shooting for. And that's why you see that, at 28 years old, 29, look how many accomplishments they both have. Look how many divisions they won titles in. And their fight, this is a title fight. Truckerell, they're not going to fight each other. Can we just stop with this? I'm with you, Truckerell. I'm with you 100%. I'm going to give you the analogy. I'm going to give you the analogy from earlier. Remember when we was little kids in school? It could be elementary, junior high school. And it's two kids that they friends. But all the other kids want them to fight each other. So they start pushing them from behind, fight, fight. And they still don't want to fight. So they grab this hand from this kid and punch that one so that one could punch him back. And they just do everything to make them fight until the two kids end up fighting each other. One end up with a black eye, maybe the other one with a broken nose or whatever. They got pushed to fight. And fans act like that. Like these are the two little kids that fight, fight, fight. Come on, fight. It's almost like they forget that fighters, no matter how famous, how successful and accomplished they are, they still human beings. They still people just like me and you. People don't understand that. And I told you guys before, all money is not good money. They can make millions without having to fight each other. Shakur got a bunch of opponents that he could make millions with. Keyshawn got opponents that he could make millions with. But I told you before, my peoples, you can't buy real friends. Real friends is not for sale, my peoples. And there's not a place that you just buy real friends. And if you try to buy real friends, which people do all the time, those will be the ones to backstab you real quick. Those will be the ones to shit on you. Those will be the ones that when they can't get no more money from you, will absolutely backdoor you. You can't buy friends. Everybody doesn't want all the money in the world. Everybody doesn't want all the millions in the world and the most pay-per-views and the most checks and everybody's not like that, man. We've turned into a greedy society where that's the priority in people's mind. Money, money, money. Who's making more money? Everybody's not thinking like you. Everybody's not thinking like that. There's a lot of people out there that's like, yo, I'm making a lot of money. There's shit that I don't need to do for money. I don't have to do that. I'm good. There's a lot of people like that. You'll be surprised. Look at Lomachenko. You know the type of payday that he turned down with Tank Davis? You know the type of millions he would have made with that fight? But he said, no, I'm on my way out. I'm not going to fight this guy on my way out and get my ass whooped for millions of dollars. I don't need it. Everybody is not doing everything for money. And people think that that's the case. Watch, when they offer money, they're going to fight. Bro, everybody's not as money hungry as you. Quan, Shakur is dangerous, hard to beat. When you can't touch besides me, watching him grow up. Listen, Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez is going to be one of the epic showdowns that we've seen in these times. This is going to be one of those fights. Shakur versus Teo is going to be one of those that 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line, people go back and rewatch those fights. Like there's fights that you're always going to rewatch. And they're going to play on ESPN Classic or somewhere else that you're going to say, damn, what a fight. This is going to be one of those. And Shakur and Teofimo Lopez, they both going to show out. They both going to bring the best version of themselves into this fight. Believe it. Believe it, my peoples. Gio, fighters can win around against Shakur. Too good of a boxer. Very skillful. Corey B. Real friends are not for sale. Jay Smith. You know it, my brother. They not. You can't buy them. Can't buy them. And the thing is that you can have a real friend that you met last week. And then you can have a fake friend that you know for 20 years. Acting like that's your friend. You already seen 500 red flags from that motherfucker. Little funny things that you seen. But you turn your eye like you don't know. You still acting like they're your friends. So again, if Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis, they close like that, and they value their friendship more than making money, me personally, I commend them for that. Because what they telling You, the boxing fan who said, fight, fight. What they telling you is that our friendship is worth more than money. It's worth more than the popularity that you want to give me if we fight. This means more. We already got money, and we're going to keep getting money. But money's not going to break us apart. You got to respect that. Some of y'all will sell your ass for 10K. Your ass will be sold for 10K. Come on now. And that's how you sound too. You sound like that. You sound like you selling anything. Alex, Dana don't let that friendship fly in UFC. That man dark that way. My peoples, I'm going to take a 30-second break. I'll be right back. Y'all already know, another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. We talking boxing. We doing what we do. I'll be right back, my peoples. My peoples, we back in the building. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Alex, who's gonna be? You know something, Alex? One of the concepts of this show is that you gotta stay on topic. We talking about one topic, and for the last few 5 times that you commented, you talking about something else. You keep bringing up something else. Seems like you're trying to disrupt the flow of the show. So I'm gonna need you to take a 24-hour break. That's how we do it over here, 24, 24, 24. And tomorrow, when you come back and you see an image like this one, try to stick with the subject, family. Try to do that. And you do that, you talk about Keyshawn, you talk about Shakur, you talk about the situation, fans wanting to fight each other. We could rock. But you coming over here with your subject changing bullshit, you eventually start looking like a dummy or a goofball. Whichever one it is, take a little 24-hour break, come back, and talk about what we talking about here. You're changing the subject, shit is getting corny already. Silence beat. My people, you know how we do it, man. I don't like to be cooking people this early in the morning, but the goofballery, they see you talking and they come in, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? And what shut the fuck up. Take that 24-hour break and come back tomorrow. Goofball. Listen, my peoples. My take on this is that Shakur Hands 24, 24, 24. Shakur Hands, aka Superman, silenced by Jay Smith. We gotta do it. We gotta give him the 24, 24, 24, man. Coming over here with that corny shit. And I'm letting him rock. I'm letting him rock. He talking other shit and other shit. And I'm like, I'm letting him rock. And I'm like, okay, it's time for your goofballery to be put on pause for 24 hours. Tomorrow, you know what to do. Talk about what we talking about over here. Goofball. But again, my people, my take on this whole situation is different. Jay Smith, I'm fucking rolling. That's how we gotta do it, bro. You didn't see this goofy over here. Keep talking about some other shit. Keep talking about Usyk and all this other shit. Like, bro, we ain't talking about none of that. What is we doing? What is we doing over here, man? Just randomly just talking about whatever? But I digress. Look, I have a different take on this situation than most people. Maybe because I've been in ring, or because I've been a fighter, or because I have empathy towards other people in general. But me, I respect that these two fighters have, put their friendship, their personal relationship ahead of making money, ahead of, the popularity that can come from it. And let me tell you something, right? The league, salute, my brother. Let me tell you something. It can happen that Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis fight each other in their mid or late 30s, more at the end of their career. You know why that can happen? Because now at that point, they already got all of these accomplishments. They already cemented their place in history and all of that stuff. And now they can come together and say, yo, let's do it for the culture. Let's do it to get this money. Let's get it. But right now, at their age and where they are in their career, if they fight each other, that could completely destroy their friendship, completely destroy the relationship that they have. And they know it. That's why they don't want to fight. That's just the reality. Devo, I've never boxed, but I've never hurt my brother. But you see what I'm saying? Look. So if they're close like that, and we know that they're close like that, why people still want them to fight? For our entertainment. What do we see? It's two animals. Put those two pit bulls to fight. Put those two chickens to fight. Whatever it is. Two animals that you just can force them to fight each other even if they don't want to. George Jackin, good morning, fellows. Salute, my brother. Bam, Tennessee has entered the chat in the building. Listen, bro, the whole situation with Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis and people saying that they should fight each other, honestly, I'm tired of it. I wish people just let them be. Both young fighters that are gonna accomplish a lot, let them be. Why you wanna force them to fight each other? I be having people telling me, nah, I know that they cool, but they gotta fight. What you mean they gotta fight? Why exactly do they gotta fight? Because you said so? To satisfy you? That's why I keep asking the magic question, my peoples. If you don't want to do something, but somebody wants you to do it, are you gonna do it because they want you to do it? Come on now, think about that. Devin, I've always understood their relationship because I can relate. You see what I'm saying? And I ask people this all the time. If you don't want to do something, and somebody says, yo, you should do it, and everybody else is saying you should do it, but you don't want to do it, are you going to do it because that's what everybody else wants? Your ass is a sheep. You a sheep. If you don't want to do something, but you do it because, hey, they want me to do it, so I got to do it, you're a sheep. The answer should be no. If I don't want to do something, I don't care who want me to do it. I'm not doing it. Well, the same applies to them. If they don't want to do something, they don't have to do it to prove it to anybody. They're not going to do it. Devin, plus there's plenty smoke at 140. Yo, that's endless smoke. Endless. They both going to be able to make millions and millions of dollars without having to fight each other. And I told you guys before, you can make money. They both can make a lot of money. You can't buy friends. You cannot buy friends, my peoples. And they know that, they understand that. And if you old enough, you understand that. There's not a lot of real friends out there. So when you got them, everybody's not going to sell them for money. Joe Jacket, I'm glad Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray wasn't friends. Devin, plus, they're guys from 135 moving up too. No, and also eventually, both of these guys are going to end up at 147. Like, anyone that's within the 135 to 147 range is within their, within their atmosphere. But I will say, this fight, I wish people stop acting like they have to fight. No, they don't. They don't have to fight each other. That's cap. Now, this fight right here is going down. We are going to get this fight. Daniel Negron. Unless people are communists, that's crazy, doing something you don't want. But that's what it seems like fans want in this case. They don't want to fight each other, but they gotta fight. They gotta fight. We don't care. What the hell? What do you mean they gotta fight? They don't want to. They got a lot of money. They close friends. It makes perfect sense to me. But like I said, Daniel, a lot of people act like fighters are animals. Like, it don't matter what your will or what you want. Y'all gotta fight each other. Like, it's two animals. Silence beat. Jay Smith, let me get your opinion. How do you stop double step back Shakur does to be out of range of a punch? So, one way to battle that double step back is to become a counter puncher. And we're going to see that in Teofimo Lopez. Because if you become a counter puncher, now you're more waiting for him to go first so that you can counter. Shakur's step back does not come off of him reacting to counters. It comes off of him reacting to your lead punches. So if you try a 1-2, by the time you get to the 2, that step back already left him way out of range for that right hand or that straight left hand to land. So that step back is from your lead punches, not from your exchanges. So you have to make it that type of... I'll give you an example. The guy that beats someone like Shakur, and I don't see nobody beating him, but I'll give you an example, is somebody like Marcus Maidana. Somebody who has an awkward style, because those guys with that awkward style are gonna punch you from above in the top of the head, do all this other crazy shit. Those are the guys that can give smooth technical fighters problems. You saw it with Floyd Mayweather. Maidana gave him problems. And mostly beat the crap. I mean, not mostly. Amir Khan beat the crap out of Maidana. Beat the crap out of Maidana. Maidana gave Floyd problems. Why? Because he has that awkward style. But if you're not going to outbox Shakur. We know that you're not going to outbox him. And that step back is part of it. You're not going to outbox him. So you're going to have to get him into a firefight. And win exchanges on the inside. That's what Teofimo Lopez is going to try to do. The least. Hopefully he doesn't start a trend. Joe Jacket, does anybody else feel like Lamar Roach got robbed again? I'm going to be honest, Joe Jacket, and my take, it seems like controversial to a lot of people, and to a lot it makes sense. To me, it was a draw. But I did not see round number 11 and round number 12. I was calling the fight live, and I lost the feed after round number 10. So, after round number 10, my perception was that neither guy had the fight in the bag. Why? Because early on, I felt like it was Pitbull winning it. Those first 5, 6 rounds. I'm not saying he swept them, but I'm saying like he won the better part of the first few rounds, as I saw it. And then, round number 5, round number 6, Lamar Roach starts to take over. He starts to make Pitbull miss a lot of punches and counter. And it's hard to score this fight because they're both throwing punches, right? And they're both landing good ones. But Roach was making them miss more and more. So I started scoring it in his favor. Then I lost the feed after round number 10. To me, it looked like it was an even fight. And from what I hear from those championship rounds, that the way they went back and forth, some people telling me Lamar got him, some people telling me Pitbull got him. Then I come to the conclusion that it's a draw, baby. Even right now, you see a lot of people saying Pitbull got it, a lot of people saying Roach got it. It still looked like a draw. Silence B, I believe it was a draw as well. How I seen it. The league. But I don't think Roach got robbed. The boxing advisor. Who wins? Jai Opataya versus David Benavidez. I can't pick versus David Benavidez, man. I got him winning that fight. Nobody beats David Benavidez. And Jai Opataya is a special fighter. I believe that he's going to accomplish some things in the sport of boxing. I don't think he's ready for the Mexican monster. Gets cooked. Just the way it's going to be. The Mexican monster's going to beat him up. Beat him up. And I got love for Jai, man. One of my favorite young fighters coming up. He's not ready for the monster, bro. He's not ready for that type of action. George Jack and Pitbull got points for missed punches, I guess. You see, that's the thing, man. Sometimes when fighters are in close quarters, trading, the guy throwing the harder punches might look like he won the exchange versus the guy that actually pop, 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 landed a couple to the face piece. But the other one's throwing big-ass punches that you blocking and it might even move your body around and even missing, but they real hard punches. But that's refs. I mean, there's judges that, they see who's landing the clean ones and they give it to them. But from the fan perspective, and when you're watching it on TV, you might see an exchange that look like Pitbull got him. And then when they show it in slow motion, you're like, oh, shit. Pitbull threw a 4-punch combination and only one of them landed. And in between those, Lamar Roach landed a right hand and a left to the body. So he actually won that exchange. But when you see it fast, it look like Pitbull caught him. Shakur hands. PBC's cooking. Whoa. It was a good fight, man. I think it's a fight that, even if you disagree, you can respect the draw just because of how close it was. Be right back, my peoples. Hydration. Bear with me. We back in the building, my peoples. Shakur hands. They did it for Tank and then Cruz. Now this is ludicrous. Well, Tank Davis versus Pitbull Cruz. I felt like Tank won that fight. It was close. Pitbull made it competitive, but Tank got him. He got him, bro. The hydrogrind. Shakur should go to the barber. Damn. Joe Jacket. Can't wait to see Jake Paul slumped in the middle of the ring. Look, man, I already told everybody there's not gonna be, room to think that he's faking it. It's not gonna look like a fake knockout. You're gonna know he really knocked out. MS, if Pitbull had won the fight, there was no reason to take the win from him because he's the house fighter. San Antonio was his audience that night, but he obviously didn't win. I guess they didn't want to make him the loser then. Joe Jacken, I'm betting some money on Jake Paul. That's the same as putting it in a garbage can. Just in case the fix is in, don't put too much, bro. Don't put too much. I will say, if Jake Paul was to knock Anthony Joshua out, there are people out there who may become rich or for that one fight. Like, that will be that one time that they finally hit it big. There's people out there who's gonna put thousands and thousands of dollars on Jake Paul to knock AJ out. A bet like that is gonna change your life. But man, the odds are astronomical. Astronomically low for that to happen. Shakur hands. Yes, I'm not talking about Tank Cruz. I'm talking about Tank Roach. Oh, okay. Hair grease, white face. Oh, man. Damn, bro. That controversy is never going to go away. I mean, that controversy disappears when they do the rematch. And look, man, even though it didn't happen immediately, but the Tank Davis Lamar Roach rematch is very much anticipated. If you think about it, we're not talking about it every day anymore. But the moment they even hint that that fight can happen, we on it. We on it, my people. And you know it's true. Joe Jacket, if the fix is in. Oh, man. If the fix is in, a lot of people are going to become rich on that day. Rich. You imagine just put it to you like this. Imagine somebody putting $10,000 on Jake Paul knocking out Anthony Joshua and that actually happening. That person's going to be rich that day. That same day, they're going to collect millions. Silence Beef Facts, we definitely on it. On it. Joe Jacket, holy shit. I'm telling you, somebody put $10,000 on a Jake Paul knockout. He does knock out Anthony Joshua. They're going to walk out of there a millionaire that same day. That's it. Done. We made it. That's the type of shit that you're going to be telling your wife, we made it, honey. We finally made it. Millions. But I will say, this is the fight right here that we got to focus on. Make your predictions. Don't duck it. Side, might sprinkle a little on Jake in case the fix is in. Well, I mean, you could do it. You're right. You could do that. Just in case. Just in case. Shakur hands. That's why goofiest of the oofiest is upset. Clown show Mauricio. Listen, man, I know Mauricio Sulaiman got some supporters here on Box Center. We don't knock you, my peoples. If you support Mauricio, we don't knock you. But he's still a goofball. Shakur hands. He put that money on Fanello. Come on, man. We all know. We all know the WBC got their little situation going on with Canelo Alvarez and the fighters that they want him to hold belts, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. But I told ya, those who think I'm capping, you're gonna find out. The WBC is gonna take a L, a nasty L, for doing that to Crawford. It's gonna be quite brutal. People think I'm making stuff up, or I'm lying to them, or it's not gonna play out the way I'm telling them. You should have been know why I'm Jay Stradamus. Should have been know how this thing plays out. That guy, WBC taking a big L for that. I'm trying to tell the people, they don't want to understand it. You decided to strip the face of boxing of his hard-earned title right when TKO is around the corner ready to pour billions into boxing. I'm telling you, my peoples, Mauricio Sulaiman gave an alley-oop to Dana White. Here, Dana, slam dunk it with your TKO lead. Here's another alley-oop for you, Turkey. Whoop. Now you got the best recruiting tool that we could ever give you. Show the people what we did to the face of boxing and why they should not deal with us. You want to see something funny? Remember that I told you guys. I want you to take this into consideration. When Mauricio Sulaiman decided to strip Terence Crawford, a domino effect started right away. Head hot king. Actually, you're the fanboy because in your whole life, you've never sided with a sanctioning body. You've never sided with Mauricio Sulaiman. But your hate for Terence Crawford is so much that now you got Sulaiman Kizak in your mizalf. That's your reality. But I want you guys to understand this. Sulaiman kicked off a domino effect. And here it is. I want you to see it. First, Sulaiman stripped Terence Crawford. What's the first domino? Boop. Crawford is like, you know what? F the WBC belt. That's the first domino. You got the champion saying, I don't care about your belt. You're diminishing the brand when this guy who just beat Canelo Alvarez in front of over 40 million people is saying, F your belt. That's a lot of people listening to that. Number two, now you have a lot of fans saying the same thing. F the WBC. So fans, you've made fans pick sides. You could have easily left the belt with Crawford for 6 more months and let him vacate. And let him be like, yo, I'm vacating, I'm going to 160, I'm doing me over here. You could have let that happen. Easy work. And got free money, took the 100K or whatever it was giving you, free money. 6 months, you're going to leave the division, vacate, and we move on. Nothing to see here. But instead, your actions made now Crawford say F the WBC. Fans are saying F the WBC, but worst of all, now the WBC is being scrutinized. Now you have people saying, yo, where all that money going? Remember Errol Spence said it before? Where all that money going? Remember Floyd Mayweather spoke out against the sanctioning bodies in the past? Remember Riddick Bowe put the WBC belt in a garbage can? How many years ago that was? Remember Miguel Cotto got stripped of the WBC belt because he didn't want to pay the expensive ass fee? So this is something that has been going down with that sanctioning body and is now again on the spotlight. Think about it. Now once again, it's on the spotlight. Y'all corrupt. What are you doing with all this money? You stealing all that money, Mauricio Sulaiman. You can't even find out his net worth. Don't take my word for it, my peoples. Google Mauricio Sulaiman's net worth. And Google's going to tell your ass, nah, we don't have it. Nobody knows. Look for somebody else's net worth. Who knows that shit? How does that work out? So ultimately, Mauricio Sulaiman diminished the brand. Mauricio Sulaiman made the WBC go from being that prestigious title to being a trinket. A lot of people are saying, yo, we don't care about you anymore. We don't care about you. And there's people that's showing silent support for Terrence Crawford. For example, look at this. Bam posted that. Bam posted that picture. No, he's not saying anything. But what you think that means? Where you think Bam's support is at? And you understand what type of fighter Bam is, what he's already accomplished, where he's headed, and what that tell you about who he support. Right there. So, what you may not understand is that a lot of boxers support Crawford in this situation. A lot of boxers, they not down with the WBC, but they cannot say it publicly. Because if you're the sanctioning body that's ranking me, if you're the sanctioning body that's going to put me to fight the other champions, or the one that decided if you could strip me, I can't talk against you. It's not a good business practice. That's why when you see all these people talking, siding with Sulaiman and saying, oh, Crawford got to pay his fees, that's what you should expect them to say. They're active fighters, and there's a sanctioning body that can rank them and decide if they get a title shot or not. If you side with Crawford, what you think is going to happen? Your ass will never get a title shot, ever. You're going to be one of those people that keep winning, and no matter what you do, you ain't getting a title shot. You become that. So people have to understand, you're not going to see major support for Terrence Crawford publicly, but privately, I assure you, a lot of fighters, a lot of coaches, a lot of trainers support Terrence Crawford. So that domino effect that I'm telling you about, you're going to see it. Mauricio Sulaiman gave an alley-oop to Dana White and an alley-oop to His Excellency Turki Al-Ashid. Now Dana White might take that alley-oop and alley-oop it to Crawford so he can slam dunk it into the TKO league. Boom! Guess what? Terrence Crawford goes there, fights, gets mad money. Now a lot of people want to be down with that. Mauricio Sulaiman sped up the process so that TKO can become popular even faster than they were going to. That's what people don't understand. Stripping Terrence Crawford became probably the biggest recruiting tool for Zuffa and TKO League. Now they could say, yo, look what they did to Terrence Crawford after he beat Canelo. Imagine what they're going to do to you. You ain't nobody. Nobody know your ass. Imagine how they're going to do you. If they did him like that, imagine you, bro. This is the perfect recruiting tool for people to say, yeah, fuck these people. Let me go over there now. Screw yourself. So what Mauricio Sulaiman did out of pride is going to backfire. Watch. Wait and see. Frontline. Isn't the WBC a non-profit organization? If so, technically and legally, they can't put a fee. It will have to be put on a donation. All Bud is doing is standing up to the greed. Of course, it's the greed. The WBC, that all that money goes in their pocket. And they try to say, no, because most of that money was going to go to the fighters. You've never given most of the money to the fighters. You've given the fighters a small percentage of the money that you collect. That's why Mauricio Goofball Sulaiman can't put out no receipts, can't put out no proof of where the money's going to or who took all that money. They can't. Yo, I'm gonna put it to you like this, so you can see something. I'm gonna give you some interesting things to consider about the way that the WBC is moving. In the last like 12 years, right? For the fighters, the WBC, or towards the fighters, the WBC has given like 2.5 million, right? In 10 years, if they was giving 225,000 after every Canelo fight that he made millions, and after every championship fight, 275,000, that fund for the fighters would have had millions and millions and millions. You know how many big championship fights has been for the WBC in the last 12 years? Yet that fund only has 2 point something million dollars. But here's the funny part about that fund. It has 2 point something million dollars. And a couple years ago, I'm not sure how long ago, they had a fundraiser where private donors donated 1 point something million. To make you understand that, out of the 2 point something million that the WBC has given towards the fighters in 12, 13 years, like 1.5 of those didn't even come from the WBC. It came from private donors. They did one event, and in one event, a private donor or private donors donated 1 point something million in that one event. That means that in over 10 years, the WBC has themselves from sanctioning fees put in the pot like $900 and something thousand in all this time. Where all that money went to. But we don't know because Mauricio don't tell us. Mauricio don't show us. We just need to do what they say. And the fighters need to just give them their money. What kind of mafia shit they got going on over there, my people? What kind of mob shit you got going on? Nobody know how you distribute your money, who you give the money to. Show us a list of fighters that's getting the money. Show us how much money you actually giving out. But you know why Mauricio's never going to show us how much money they actually giving out? Because if he does that, what we're going to find out is that they've been making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars and giving out chump change. Chump change. Yo, if you gave out 900,000, yo, how much you giving out of each championship fight? Like $1,500 or some shit? What you giving out? $2,000 per championship fight? So again, the numbers don't add up. Mauricio Sulaiman sitting there telling people, we was gonna give $225,000 at a Crawford fee. Huh? Wait a minute. But if you gave $275,000 out of every Canelo fight, you would already got millions of dollars in that account. The last 10 Canelo fights would have put almost $3 million in there. The last 10 Canelo fights would have put almost $10 million in there. So I just don't understand it, my people. How they working this out in the WBC. Ramon, don't forget the fighters must pay taxes also. That's facts. Louis, salute. Bam. Ephraim, just tuned in. What are you talking about? The whole situation with Mauricio Sulaiman and Terence Crawford and him wanting the $300,000, stripping Terence Crawford. Is it going to backfire? Is it not going to backfire? And look, Fans are divided about this situation. Some people are siding with the WBC. Some people siding with Crawford. It's just crazy. It's just crazy the way that whole situation is playing out. And of course, my peoples, we got Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson going down on January 31st. That's a legitimate super fight. Irvin Max, hit that like button, my brother. I appreciate you. Bam. And I'm going to tell you, brother, I've been live for almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours, and I haven't got to 40 likes, man. Y'all doing me crazy. Come on, man. I'm cooking you this early boxing for breakfast, sweet science, and I can't get to 40 likes, man. Double tap that screen, my people. Stop playing with me. Ephraimora. 4 belts, 4 fees. That's tough. And the thing is that Terrence Crawford gave a certain amount of money to the other 3 sanctioning bodies that they all took. That was free money to them because they all know that Terrence Crawford is not going to defend those titles. He's planning on going down to 160. Give us that free money. Hold on to those titles for 6 months. And when you vacate, we keep it moving. Everything is kosher. But guess what? The IBF, the WBA, the WBO, they all celebrating what the WBC did. Because Mauricio Sulaiman's looking like a goofball. So they like, you see, we about the fighters. We for the fighters. He offered an amount, we took it. We support the fighters. Mauricio Sulaiman acted like the belt is bigger than the champion. It's the champion that make it. The champion make the belt. If I was to do the Box Center Federation, the Box Center Boxing Federation, and Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia do the rematch under the Box Center Boxing Federation, guess what? My belt is going to be more important than the WBC right away. The Box Center Federation will be bigger than the WBC the moment the big fighters sign and fight to get my belt. Of course, that's not going to happen. But the point is that the champions make the belt, not the other way around. Mauricio forgot that. He says it all the time, but it's like he doesn't really believe it. You're going to find out with Crawford that it is the case. Raul Pacheco, the system was already there. They already knew the system. But Canelo win, you think you don't have to pay it. So my first question for you, Raul Pacheco, is what round did you have Canelo knocking Crawford out in? First answer to me that question. I'll respond to your comment what you're saying, but tell me what round you had Canelo knocking Crawford out in. Because that's the reason why you came up with that angle. That talking point is because of that reason. So tell me the round that you thought Canelo was going to knock him out in and even make it look easy, and then I'll respond to that. Ephraimora. Sometimes if you have mandatory and don't take it, you get fined or stripped. That's a fact. That is true. But I'm going to remind you that Canelo Alvarez had David Benavidez for 2 years as the #1 challenger. The WBC never mandated the fight, never stripped Canelo, never did nothing, and Canelo never had to fight Benavidez. Why not? 2 years with Benavidez right there, waiting over and over and over, and the fight doesn't get mandated? I don't know. I don't know how that works, but come on now. Ramon, they changed the amount of steroids you can have in your system for Canelo. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about all that. I don't know about that. But I still ask the question. I still ask the question, my people. What round did you have Canelo knocking Crawford out in? Raul Pacheco didn't answer that question. I guess Raul Pacheco decided, let me keep it quiet because, I wanted him to lose so bad. Ramon, change the amount with the tainted meat. Urban Mac, keep it fair. Of course, it gotta be fair. Ramon, they changed the amount. Look, man, the whole steroid stuff, in reality, is irrelevant. Crawford beat his ass. Crawford beat his ass. Come on now. Jay is in there. Quit beating around the bush. There's a lot of beating around the bush going on these days, bro. But at the end of the day, who won the fight convincingly? The person you thought was gonna get knocked out. The person you thought was gonna get knocked out won the fight. That's just the reality. But right here, my peoples, we have another one. We have another big one. We have another. This fight is huge. It's of epic proportions. Jay is in there. 37 likes. Let's go. Hit that like button, everyone. I should have been at 40, man. Going on 2 hours. Going on 2 hours of cooking this breakfast for y'all, man. And I don't got 40 likes. Insane. Shakur hands. These dudes, the Lulu. Coño, loco, esos tigres están de pinga, baby. Listen, my people. Eric Gomes, we letting Shakur slide? Slide with what? I'm lost, bro. I mean, you're a Shakur hater, so whatever you come up with for Shakur is on some hating shit. What you got? Eric Gomes, no belt is more important than the green belt. Word to Ali. I don't know what is that supposed to mean. Raul Pacheco, he's scared of Benavidez. Look, man, Canelo Alvarez could have fought David Benavidez years ago. David Benavidez was the guy right there, kept winning. The WBC never mandated the fight. They never say, yo, Canelo, you got to fight him or we're going to strip you. So I guess, the rules that they have is really, they get enforced with some fighters, but with others, they don't really have to fight the mandatory or do any of that stuff. But I bet you that whoever wins that WBC title out of Billy and Shiraz, I bet you they're going to have to fight Canelo. They're going to have to fight the mandatory right away. But Canelo didn't have to fight his mandatory when that was David Benavidez. Interesting, right? Coach Cortez, David most likely would have stopped Canelo. I actually made that prediction myself. I said if Canelo fights David Benavidez, that could very well be the first time that he loses by stoppage. Like actually gets beat up. Eric Gomes, we letting Shakur slide with him and Keyshawn not fighting? We letting? What do you mean we letting, bro? Do you think that Shakur and Keyshawn is like two animals, like two pit bulls, that you could force them to fight each other? Is that like, these are two human beings, bro. If two people don't want to fight each other, what do you mean we letting? Like, you think they slaves, or you think they animals, or you think, what do you think they are, bro? We letting them slide. Who the fuck are we to force them to fight, bro? That's why I'm telling you that fans, it's like you don't think that fighters are human beings. You don't think that these are people. I know this might sound crazy to you, Eric Gomes, but a good friendship is worth more than money. I know you don't understand that, but a good friendship, it costs a lot more than money. It costs a lot more than business. Shakur Stevenson could make a lot of money by fighting other people. Keyshawn Davis could make a lot of money by fighting other people. They both could make money. You can't buy friendships, bro. They don't have to fight for your entertainment. So that you could be like, you gotta fight. They don't have to. They can say, fuck you, Eric Gomes. We friends. If you can't respect that, fuck you. You're not getting this fight. If I was Shakur, I would say that to you. You don't understand that. You think these are just like two animals that's there to fight and entertain me and you. But they not. They human beings. They friends. And if they don't want to fight, they're not going to fight. You need to learn that. You need to learn that fighters are human beings. It's lame because you dislike both of them and you don't want to see them have good relationships. You don't even care about good relationship. See, you only care about two people destroying each other, and that's it. That's the problem. They both have plenty of opponents that they can fight. I'm happy with that. I respect that. I understand that you think fighters are animals and you can force them to fight each other. But I see two human beings. I'm cool with them having a great career, accomplishing a lot, making millions of dollars, and they don't have to fight each other. It's very simple. It's just that, like I said to you, it's like two animals. They got to do what you tell them. That shit is hilarious, bro. JJ's in there. Word of the day. Rules should be set for everyone, but some people got favoritism. No, so here's the reality. When it comes to money, some people have a filter and some people don't have a filter. You see? So Eric Gomes, for example, he probably give up his asshole for $30,000. $30,000, Eric Gomes is getting smashed in the asshole. Probably ran a train on for $30,000. But there's people out there, but that for no amount of money, they're going to trade a friend. For no amount of money, they're going to trade somebody who's rocking with them. There's people like that. So while you have people saying they got to fight, I commend, I respect those two fighters for saying our friendship is worth more than money. Eric Gomes, you could never understand that. You could never understand that a friendship could be worth more than money. You can't understand that. That's not within your stratosphere. Look, you're talking about we could both get money because money is everything to some people. It's not everything to everybody, Eric. Everybody's not money hungry. Everybody's not money thirsty. You are, and you think everybody else is, so to you, they should think like you. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. That's why the other day I tried to tell you, Eric, these two guys already made millions of dollars. They got millions of dollars in the bank. How much do you make in your job? And when I asked you how much you make in your job, yo, you left the channel. I think you went to watch another channel and maybe came back like an hour later with a different subject. You couldn't say what you do for a living. You talking about what two millionaire friends should do? And you flipping burgers at Wendy's? Come on, bro. Don't do that. It's always broke people arguing about what millionaires should do. Let them do what they want to do, bro. They got money. They good. They got cars, houses, properties, businesses, endorsements. Money coming from all over the place, bro. Worry about getting your money. JJ's in there. Hit the like button, everyone, and subscribe as you enter. No doubt, my people, subscribe. Listen. We digressed. Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez is going down on January 31st. Eric Gomes, you cannot want the best to fight the best because you always say Shakur's not the best. Now you got Shakur as the best? That's crazy. You see what happens when you a hater? You spend all this time hating on Shakur, now you want the best to fight the best. Shakur's the best? You've been telling me here, hype job. You've been telling me he ain't beat nobody. How for this argument now he's the best? Eric Gomes, man, you make it too easy. You make it too easy to cook your ass. Walking contradiction. Now you want the best to fight the best. Look how easy it is to cook you, Eric Gomes. You want the best to fight the best, but as soon as we bring up Tank Davis, you the one to say that he don't got to fight the best because he's getting his money and he's about the money. So you don't want Tank Davis to fight the best, but you want Shakur to fight the best? Damn, it's too easy to cook you, bro. It's too easy. It's like in one morning, you want me to put you in the microwave, in the oven, in the skillet, in the same morning? Come on, bro. Shakur hands. Cookies cooked, burnt on that stove. Digger, what are your thoughts on AJ and Paul? Jake Paul is going to get knocked out brutally. But even with him getting knocked out brutally, he earned my respect. He earned my respect. And you know why? Eric, go let me know when your next call-in show. Every Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, but you capping because every Monday you never show up. You capping. We already done the second show already. So you always say, but you never show up. So that's cap, Eric. Stop the cap. I know you don't mind getting cooked in the chat, but you're not gonna call in to get cooked because you never have. Stop the cap. Digger. Hoso, bro. He's a sausage. I'ma say this, my guy. Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. Number one, it's a real fight. That's number one. Now, why do I tell you that this is a real fight? My peoples, when have you known Anthony Joshua to be down with the goofballery? When have you known Anthony Joshua to be on some clown show shit? Never. That's not what AJ's about. Did you see the mindset that he had going into that Francis Ngannou fight? He was like, you're going to come from MMA and you think you could beat me? I'm an Olympic gold medalist, a two-time world champion, heavyweight world champion, and you're going to come from MMA thinking that you could beat me? I'm going to have to show you what this boxing shit is about. And what AJ do? Absolutely pulverized Francis Ngannou. Devastating knockout. He's going into this fight with that same mindset, my people. Like, oh shit, this guy really think he could beat me. If you analyze that, yo, that shit is disrespectful to Anthony Joshua. It's disrespectful for Jake Paul to believe that he can beat him. That's disrespectful. And Joshua approaching this fight with that mindset, like, he want to fight, he think he could beat me. I'ma show him. I'ma show him. The lunatic, libertarian. Will Jake be over 200 pounds? Does he think he can land the Ruiz hook or Dubois right hand? He is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, the last time I see him talking about his weight was yesterday, and he said he was weighing 115 and planning on getting to the fight. I'm sorry, 215 and planning on getting to the fight at 220. But AJ is going to be like 250. So he's going to have like 30 pounds on him. 8 rounds. Efro. It is 8 rounds with 10-ounce gloves. Digger. He's not a proper boxer. He ain't been through the amateurs. Don't rate him at all. I mean, I expect Jake Paul to get knocked out. But I will say this, Digger, that I want you to take this into consideration. If you take somebody who's 22 years old and you train him in high-level gyms with real boxing coaches, real top-notch boxing equipment, real sparring partners, professionals, if you do that with anybody in their early 20s and you train them for 5-6 years, bro, they're going to learn how to box. They're going to learn how to box. They're going to become a boxer. They're not going to be an elite level boxer. Jake Paul could never be an elite level boxer. That's not going to happen. But I promise you, everybody in this chat is getting knocked out by Jake Paul. Brutally. If you're not about to tell me that you're an experienced professional fighter, everybody in this chat getting knocked out by Jake, and in your 20s. Now you know you're retired. Everybody here getting knocked out by Jake Paul, brutally. So don't let this slip past you, because some of the realest shit I'm about to tell you. To those elite boxers, Jake Paul's a bum. But not to you and me. You can't step in the ring and think you're going to beat up Jake Paul. He will absolutely beat the crap out of you. So what does that make him? A boxer. He's a boxer. He just doesn't have the level of talent to become an elite level guy. That's all. He's a boxer. Don't get it twisted. Shaggy, happy Friday, my G. Let's talk about boxing. Bam, salute, my brother. Headshot King. Paul has the best of the best sparring partners and trainers, but that's what I'm saying. When you're training with real sparring partners in real gyms, with real boxing coaches, with top-notch equipment, top-notch nutrition, bro, you're going to become a boxer. You're going to learn how to box. That's just a fact. Don't get stuck on, well, you know, he don't got a background, so he's not going to box forever. He's not going to know how to box forever. No, he know how to box. He know how to box, trust me. And there's some boxers out there that Jake Paul will beat him. A lot of boxers out there that Jake Paul will beat him. But he's not. Again, he's not an elite level boxer. He's not going to be able to beat those type of guys. JJ's in the house. After this fight, Jake from Allstate will go back to selling insurance. A lot of people wish, but nah. Jake Paul's popularity is absolutely going to explode even more. Even if you go to sleep in the first round. Because people are going to look at it like, yo, he had the balls to get in there with Anthony Joshua. Not a lot of people trying to do that. Not a lot of people will have the audacity to step in the ring with a two-time heavyweight champion of the world. Efro. Jake is going to be running and holding a lot. He's going all late. My prediction. And I said it. If Jake Paul is going to go in there trying to survive, trying to get the moral victory and say, yo, I went, I lasted, then you're going to see a defensive Jake Paul who can last a few rounds. If he goes in there actually trying to beat AJ, he's getting knocked out, and it's going to be brutal. Headshot King, he's boxing for 7 years now. Paul is ranked 14 on the WBA ranking. But that's what I'm trying to tell you, my guy. Because I myself was also on that side of the argument. Like, he ain't fight nobody. He fighting retired people. Fight somebody. Fight. Like, I was tired of it already. Well, he's fighting somebody. He's doing what we've been asking him to do. And now we still going to complain about it? This is so crazy that people think it's fake. That it's going to be scripted. That's a fight. Nobody expected Jake Paul to step in the ring with Anthony Joshua. That's just reality, my people. Digger, money bought. Fact. The lunatic, Jake has already lost to Fury. To Tommy Fury. Lost that fight. But I will say, right now he's a lot better than when he lost to Tommy Fury. But he lost. Efro, boxers say all the time, there's levels to their sport. That's facts. The lunatic. While people forget, Jake fights for promotion purses, not a boxer's purse. Digger, nice chat, bro. UK love here. Salute, my brother. Bam. And salute to my peoples from the UK. Listen, the Box Center family, most of the subscribers is in the United States. But the country that has the second most subscribers is the UK. Salute to everybody in the UK who's been showing love. Some of you guys been sharing Box Center, the channel, and sharing the videos in the UK. Man, I appreciate y'all. Glenn Johnson, peace, Jay. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in the building. OG Cage, you're really putting on for... Okay. We got a dummy in the building. Let's get him out of here quick. We don't need dummies this early in the morning. Hey, Ryan. Come. I want to go play your game. Okay. Wait for me over there. Efro, Paul is making money and he's contributing to women's boxing. Got to give him credit, of course. And look, Jake Paul was very smart. My peoples, let me go put some cartoons for my son. I'll be right back, y'all. Y'all know what it is. We talking boxing. We going in. This is not over, my peoples. I'll be right back. Quick 30-second commercial break. My peoples. My peoples. Mute Stradamus was in the building in full effect. Shouldn't have been looking down. That's why you see, you gotta be looking up. Protect yourself at all times. I would have been getting punched in the mouth looking down. My peoples, I'm sharing the link to Box Center 2.0 with y'all. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you hit that bell icon. Goofiest of the oofiest only drops on Box Center 2.0 on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Mute Stradamus was in the building, my peoples, but now it's back to Jay Stradamus. Entertainment. Who you got, Jay Smith, Paul, or Anthony Joshua? Anthony Joshua is going to sleep him in brutal fashion. But that's the Jay Smith prediction. If you want to see the Jay Stradamus prediction, you're going to have to check it out on Box Center 2.0, my brother. You see it right there. There's the link. Headshot King, thoughts on Keyshawn and Hitchens going at it. I love that fight, man. I hope it happens. You saw that Eddie Hearn was right there, smiling and showing that he's interested in that fight and letting the fans know this is a big, big fight. It's a big money fight right here. Both fighters are going at it with each other. Come on now. It would be Keyshawn Davis moving up to the 140 divisions to challenge Richardson Hitchens for his title. Come on now. I love that fight. That's a big, big fight. Will it happen next? I don't know, but I'm with it. I'm with it. Hard to make a prediction. I'm not, I usually don't make a prediction until a fight is already a done deal, like we know it's happening. So I'm not going to make a prediction on that one. But I love it, man. I hope they can make that happen. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, January 31st. We're going to kick off next year with a bang. This is a super fight right here. People not understanding how big this one actually is. If you look at all the accomplishments between both fighters and the time in their career where they're meeting up, neither guy is 30 years old, man. Both of these guys in their prime. Both of these reigning world champions in two different divisions. My peoples, Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, they gonna give us that smoke. And all that stuff about Shakur's gonna be running and he's gonna... Did you not see the fight with Williams Zepeda and how that played out? You're going to see the best version of Shakur Stevenson that you ever have. And it's the same for Teofimo Lopez. The best version of Teo. Headshot King. The 140 division is the best division right now. They hot. 140 division is hot. And the thing about being in the 140 is that you got all these live fighters out here. But then you got the ones that are 135 close to moving up. So 140 right now is serious. It's serious in the 140 division. But I'm going to tell you something, JJ. I've been going down, man. I've been cooking this boxing for breakfast for over 2 hours, man. I didn't get to 50 likes. God damn, bro. Double tap that screen, my people. I'm giving you this breakfast, and it's a healthy dosage of sweet science that you're getting. You know I ain't lying. You know I ain't lying. But I'm going to have to address... People just keep bringing it up, man. They won't let it... They won't let it pass. And it's like, every time I try to let it pass, they don't want to let it pass. Mauricio the Goofball Sulaiman. I know the Mauricio fans, y'all don't want to hit the like button. I know that the Mauricio Sulaiman fans ain't trying to hit the like button. I still want to punch him in the mouth. Remember that I told you this? The WBC and Mauricio the Goofball Sulaiman, they gonna regret stripping Terrence Crawford of that title. You done gave His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh and Dana White the best alley-oop that you could have given them right before they kick off their TKO league. Take this alley-oop. Go slam dunk that shit from the 3-point line. He's gonna pay for that. He's gonna pay for that. And now you put a lot of eyes on the sanctioning body, where all this money going to, all this money that y'all collecting, for all these fighters that you say you've been helping for the last 10 years. How much money are these fighters getting? All of that becomes or gets put under the microscope. Because I ask you guys, if we were to find out that the WBC is giving chump change to retired fighters while putting millions of dollars in their pocket, how would you feel about that? Do you still believe that Crawford had to pay these thieves? Do you still feel that way? Look, we're going to be going on about this, and this is a never-ending subject, simply because when Terence Crawford fight next, possibly Erislandis Lara at 160, you don't think when he fights, the WBC title is going to come up? Their corruption, you don't think is going to come up? You don't think what was happening with the money and their favoritism, you don't think that's going to come up? Every time Terence Crawford step in the ring, the WBC and goofball Mauricio Sulaiman, they're going to come up in negative light. When you could have just allowed them to keep the title until he decided to vacate, to move down. You could have did that. Let him keep it a few months and take the free money that he's going to give you. But no. Big Mauricio Sulaiman, you wanted to take it from him and put that WBC title right in the path where Canelo can snatch it right back up. Pues está bien entonces. But just know that you diminish the brand by taking that course of action. Anybody that thinks Mauricio didn't diminish the WBC brand, just look at what the fans are saying. Fans are divided. You got fans saying F the WBC. That's a trinket. They like a mob. They robbing fighters. When you take action that has people talking negatively of you, you diminish your brand. And to prove to you that he diminished the brand, one day he came out talking about he didn't even apologize. I'm glad that it's all over, that he's gone. Want to punch you in the mouth. And after you said all that, the next day, y'all did a press conference talking about, we wish him the best. And, we don't discriminate. We want all fighters to succeed. But then right after that, you banned him from the WBC. So the point is, you behave and move like a piece of shit, but then publicly you try to make a statement like, we wish him the best, and we hope everything is good for him, but we don't want him to fight in the WBC or have an opportunity to become undisputed, but we wish him the best. Hey, shut your goofy ass up. You don't wish him the best. That was fake as hell. Headshot King, WBO stripped Floyd the same week he beat Pacquiao. Not the same week, it's the day of the fight. If they mandate you to fight somebody and you choose to fight somebody else, the day you fight that person, they strip you. It's usually that date they'll strip you because you didn't fight the person that they mandated you to fight. But still, this right here was over an amount of money that Mauricio just came up with that number. No, you need to give us $300K. Give us $300K. How the fuck you come up with that number? How? Isn't that kind of like when the mob back in the 80s used to go in the stores downtown Manhattan and rough people up and be like, yo, you gotta pay protection, and this how much you're gonna pay us? How the hell they came up with that number, I don't know. But it looked like that's the same way Mauricio Sulaiman came up with that $300K. That's the money that you gotta give me. So that's why when somebody's asking for money and somebody's manipulating money, you gotta ask, okay, how much money do you got? How much money are you getting from this money? Because you say it's for the fighters. Well, if it's for the fighters, show me the money that you're giving to the fighters and show me the money that you're taking out for you. We're never gonna see that because the way that these people move. We can't even Google how much Mauricio Sulaiman is worth. You can't even Google that shit. You try to Google it, nothing come up. Even Google tell you, nah, we don't know. ChatGPT will tell your ass, we don't know how much Sulaiman got. We know how much money everybody got. Sulaiman, we don't know. We just know he got a lot of money and that's it. Google somebody else's net worth. Headshot, WBC. And look, I'm going to tell you guys something. If Mauricio Sulaiman would have left Terence Crawford with that WBC title, he would have got free money off of Crawford, and Crawford was going to vacate anyways. He was going to vacate. He was never going to defend that title. So you'd have got free money just so I could have the title for a few months, and then I vacate to go to 160. All is well. All is well. This is going to prove to be a horrible decision. That's what I'm saying. Mauricio the Goofball Sulaiman. He gave an alley-oop to Dana White and His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. Now they're going to take that alley-oop, bam, slam dunk it. You gave him an awesome recruiting tool. That video of Mauricio Sulaiman saying he didn't even apologize and he should be grateful. And that video, I will play it for young fighters I'm trying to recruit. Like, look how the WBC president treat Terence Crawford, who just beat Canelo Alvarez. One of the most accomplished fighters in boxing. Look how they treat him. How you think they're going to treat your ass? Nobody know you. You're not famous. How you think the WBC is going to do you? If they did that to Crawford. Mauricio gave him a recruiting tool. A powerful one. Because that's your own actions that they're going to be using against you. Why you think that the very next day, they was out there trying to make positive statements? You know, we wish him the best, and we wish all the fighters the best. They try to clean that up because he know he looked dumb as hell. Or not him, but the people around him. They know. They like, damn, this guy's a dummy. You're a dummy, Mauricio. How you going to go up there and say that about Crawford? The guy just beat Canelo Alvarez in front of over 40 million people. And you're going to say all that shit. So Mauricio Sulaiman, he screwed up. He screwed up, my peoples. Take my word for it. That domino effect has already kicked off. You have Terence Crawford saying F the WBC. You have fans saying F the WBC. You have fans saying, yo, Mauricio's corrupt. Where all that money's going to? You have people now backtracking and look at all the different fighters who have spoken out against the WBC. You put yourself in a bad spot and diminish the value of the brand by stripping Terence Crawford. Mauricio thought or thinks, where the hell's my other phone at? Mauricio thought or thinks that the WBC is bigger than the boxers. That the WBC is bigger than the champion. I'm sorry, my people, that's not the case. The WBC is not bigger than the world champions. Champions make the belt, not the other way around. Mauricio thinks that he's going to find out. Wait till that TKO league kicks off next year. With that move that he did, watch how they're going to be recruiting top-notch, top-level young boxers. Because we say boxing is about money. But it's also about opportunities. It's also about opportunities. And the WBC is showing us who they want to have those opportunities, who they want to have those belts. They're showing us. Jay is in the house. Boxing for breakfast. Enjoy your day, everyone. It's Friday. No doubt, my brother. Friday morning. Beautiful day. Yes, sir. My people's another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Appreciate everybody tuning in. And if you think that Jake Paul is going to beat Anthony Joshua, I don't know what to tell you, man. Efro, what you think about Xander? Xander Sides is a special young fighter. I caught a lot of slack for saying that he reminds me of Tito Trinidad. And people are like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. But there's little things that he does that to me look identical. Mainly the left hook from mid-range distance. The mechanics, the way that he shoot that left hook, it looks almost identical to the way that Tito Trinidad used to do it. And I can tell you, I said it before, Xander Sayes is a young fighter. I don't think they should rush him. You know, when you become a world champion at 20, 21, 22 years old, I think the route to take is to do title defenses within your sanctioning body. Defend for a few years, and then eventually go for unifications. But he's young. Xander Size is young. Now, he got that old school mentality. He want to fight Fondora. He want to fight Tim Tszyu. He want to fight the dogs. He's about that life. Headshot King. He got that Ring magazine. Look, man, that Ring magazine belt is about to become more significant than ever. Now that the WBC did what they did, the Ring magazine now is going to become more significant than ever. And it's always been an important belt, but you know that there's not a sanctioning body behind it. And people's always been like behind the sanctioning bodies. Well, we're going to see the shift. Jay isn't exactly Jay Smith. Don't rush him like Fernando Vargas and other fighters. That's what I'm saying. He's already a world champion. Accomplished that feat. Take your time. Take your time with him. It's like this guy. He's not a champion yet, but he will be. Moses Itama. But he only like 20, 21 years old. No need to rush him to a title. And I'm going to tell you guys why it's never a good move to try to do too much too early. Let's say, right? Let's just say that they take this kid Xander Sayes and they put him up against Tim Tszyu. Or not Tim Tszyu, let's say Sebastian Fondora for a title shot. Yo, he could take a brutal loss and never get to be as good as he was going to be after that brutal loss. Not accomplish what he would have if they waited a bit more time. So I think right now with Xander Sayes, it's a perfect example. A young fighter, keep him within the sanctioning body, let him do title defenses for the next couple of years, fight top-level guys within the sanctioning body, and then eventually go for the unification. Because that's the thing. Once you... Listen, if you're 22 years old, 23, and you're already a unified champion and you got all these belts, bro, by the time you get to 30, you may be washed up if you're involved in a lot of wars. By the time you're 35, that's it. You out of boxing. So it's very few fighters, very few, who can become a champion in their early 20s and still be champions in their 30s. That doesn't happen. Most of the time that you see somebody become a champion at 22 years old, by 25, 26, they lost it, and by 30, they cooked. Why? Because you became a champion so young that you've been fighting at the highest level at such a young age, and you've been involved in a lot of wars already. But by the time you get to 34, 35, you're like 40. You're like 50. Headshots, all the goals had the Ring magazine. That's a fact. You gotta grab that Ring magazine belt. Jay Jason, that's called damaged goods, Jay Smith. You become damaged goods, man. If you go to war too many times, your career gets cut short. Kevin, boxing turned into a panto now. You're correct. Look, and that's another thing that fans didn't notice, especially if you wasn't watching, right? But I'm gonna tell you guys what's the recipe for a great fighter to stay on top, to stay great for long stretches of time in their career. You fight a pound for pound guy, right? Beat him in a tough fight. Then you fight another champion, beat him in another tough fight. But guess what? And you can look at all the grades. Your third fight after those two, now you get an easy fight. Now you get a guy who's a challenger for one of the sanctioning bodies that everybody's going to call a cherry pick. Now, he's not actually a bum, but he's nowhere near as good as the guys that you beat in those last two fights, right? So now you get this fight, it kind of like a tune-up, and you get an easy win, or you get an early knockout, or you don't take that much damage. And fans go into the, oh, he ain't fight nobody, he a cherry pick. And now you go into another big fight. Go to war. But then you get another one that's a little bit easier. And that's how you maintain yourself. But if you only fight the top dog after top dog after top dog, you're going to lose. It makes it more likely that you lose. If you fight them back to back without a rest in between, it's more of a chance that you could lose. You need one of those fights to come back down, slow down a bit, and then go back to the big dogs. You only fight the big dogs, you're going to take a L. Headshot. Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd, all the goals had the Ring magazine belt. That's a fact. And now that the WBC is being diminished, they diminished themselves, you're going to see people put more value on that Ring magazine belt. BVO. What if Jake drops him? Salute, my brother. Listen, if Jake Paul drops or stops Anthony Joshua, is going to flip the boxing world upside down. And not only that, there will be people who become rich that night. Because I guarantee you there's going to be people putting money on Jake Paul knocking him out with the hopes that it can happen. It's a long shot, but you never know. If you put money on Jake Paul knocking him out, he does knock him out, you're going to flip that money like crazy. Kevin. Yes, it's like a spar, but an easy fight compared to what you normally have. Right here, my peoples. What we're going to get right here, though, it's a brutal knockout. If they don't stop the fight, the ref or Jake's corner, Anthony Joshua is going to knock him out brutally. Efro, favorite fighter, Terrence Bud Crawford. JJ's in the house. If you get into too many firefights, you will be like Bobby Chacon. I'm telling you, those slugfests, that rock'em sock'em robots, that's cool for one fight. If you went at it with a guy and y'all went back and forth one fight. But if that's your style of boxing, you're going to have problems. You're going to retire having difficulty putting a conversation together without getting confused, putting a sentence together without forgetting what you was going to say. Kevin, believe me, the fight with Jake and AJ is already decided how it's going to go down. No, not at all. Not at all. I know that you're into conspiracies, and conspiracies kind of make it more interesting. It makes a more interesting conversation. But when you watch Jake Paul get knocked out brutally, that thought is going to leave your mind immediately. You're going to say, oh, shit, that's a real knockout. That definitely was not. So I know boxing fans are gonna ride with the conspiracy. Somebody gonna make stuff up out of thin air and say, "Yo, this is it right here." But no, that's not it. This is a real fight. This is a real fight, and Anthony Joshua is gonna do him bad. The same way that he did with Francis Ngannou, the same mindset. Like, oh, this guy think he could beat me. This guy believed that he can come from MMA into boxing and actually beat me. Okay, we're gonna see. And you saw what he did. Ephros, you say since when? I'm not sure what you're asking, my brother. Since when what? Fill me in, because I didn't catch it. Kevin, so you think Mike Tyson couldn't have knocked him out? Mike Tyson, bro. Kevin. Let me explain to you something. Mike Tyson is close to 60 years old. If you take 10 people off of the streets, 10, Jake Paul age and size, and you train them for 5-6 years, like Jake Paul has been training, with real trainers, real nutrition, real coaches, real sparring partners. Some guys that are bigger than Mike Tyson. You take 10 guys like that, and you train them like you train Jake Paul. All 10 of them beat 60-year-old Mike Tyson ass. All of them. You will never see Mike Tyson or anybody close to 60 beat a 20-something-year-old guy that's been training for 5-6 years in boxing, who's bigger and stronger than them. Never. So, Kevin, I'll be the one to tell you, them little boxing videos that you saw from Mike Tyson had you fooled, had you bamboozled. 60-year-old Mike Tyson ain't knocking out nobody in their 20s. Nobody. Oh, you know, a guy off the streets who never boxed a day in his life, yeah, Mike Tyson sleeping him. But not Jake Paul. You got to understand, Jake Paul will sleep you. You step in the ring with Jake Paul, he's knocking you out in the first round. Brutally. Knocking everybody out in here. Brutally. So you have to understand. Kevin, George Foreman was in his 40s. How could you compare that to somebody who was close to 60? What are you doing? You're comparing a 40-something-year-old man with somebody that's close to 60? I got to be the guy to remind you that Mike Tyson, before stepping in there with Jake Paul, was taken out of a plane in a wheelchair and a stretcher. I got to be the guy to tell you that Mike Tyson got serious health issues, serious back issues, that Mike Tyson ain't knocking nobody out. I got to be the one to tell you that. Come on, man. Come on, Kevin. I should be the one to tell you that. Lion, salute Lion in the building. Come on, my peoples. Y'all know I'm coming through with the facts. Libre, I feel like Jake Paul fights are fixed. Look, and it's reasonable to say or think that, but he lost to Tommy Fury. He lost to Tommy Fury. Do you think he fixed the fight so that he could lose? Think about it. Kevin, I'm starting to think that you don't follow boxing because Mayweather never boxed Jake Paul. That was Logan Paul. So if you don't follow boxing, you got to sit this one out, man, and just listen. Just listen and you can learn a lot. Mayweather's never been in the ring with Jake Paul. What are you talking about? JJ's in there as Jay Smith. There's fights in DR this weekend, some good fights. I'm going to be talking about them, by the way. Somebody told me that I could go over there, but they ain't talking about no money, man. I don't think I'm going to be there. Shakur hands. I'm spinning and turning into wrestling, etc. Sensei the Great. Lara and Floyd did it. I don't know what you mean Lara and Floyd did it. Neither one of them are 50-year-old, have ever fought in their 50s. What are you talking about, Lara and Floyd? Lara is 42. Floyd, oldest fight, he was like 44. Mike Tyson is 58, 59, bro, about to be 60. Do you not see the difference between the 40s and the 50s? The difference is that you've seen fighters in their 40s win. You've never seen nobody win in their 50s. What are you talking about? If you've never seen somebody win in their 50s, beat somebody in their 20s, if you've never seen it, You wasn't going to see it with Mike Tyson, man. That's the difference. You made an assessment on that fight because you hate Jake Paul and you like Mike Tyson. I didn't. I made an assessment on that fight off of this guy's about to be 60 and this guy's in his mid-20s and in his physical prime. Yup, the guy in his mid-20s and his physical prime is beating him up. I was not fooled by those 30-second videos of Mike Tyson for 30 seconds. Hey, y'all motherfuckers fooled. Ramirez, Shakur scared of... Oh, yeah, so que Shakur scared. That's how you're going to kick this thing off, man. 24, 24, 24. You're going to start this thing off talking about Shakur scared. We're not even talking about Shakur, bro. Take that 24-hour break, man. I don't got time for that bullshit this morning. 21, green light. Right now, I'm going to be studying for the Jake Paul fight. But I think Jake Paul can knock out Anthony Joshua. The odds of that happening are astronomically low, my guy. Astronomically low. When you see the gap in skills and then the size difference, the strength difference, I would just say don't put money on Jake Paul, bro. That's what I would say. JJ's in the house. Eric Rosa, Mini Pac-Man versus Luis Enrique. That's going down in the Dominican Republic. Shakur hands. I still think that the way Chavez wasn't swinging all those and he started getting hot in that one round. Oh, no. Listen. Chavez is a fighter who was there to collect a paycheck. This guy's already a full-blown cokehead. Allegedly tied to the Mexican cartel or some shit like that. Chavez is cooked. I was actually telling people that Jake Paul was gonna beat him. He did try to make it a fight, but come on, man. This guy didn't even look like he was in good shape. DMR, stop pretending that these poor events are boxing. I mean, he's gonna fight Anthony Joshua. I think it's gonna be a boxing event. I don't know what you think it's gonna be, but that's what I think it's gonna be. Kevin, I know it was Logan Paul. So you think Mayweather couldn't knock him out? You gotta stop going into what you think is gonna happen. Cause I already know that you never boxed a day in your life based over the shit that you say, bro. You just don't understand how boxing works. Listen to me. Don't think. Cause you don't know shit about boxing. So don't think and come up with your own shit. Efro, has Crawford been your favorite fighter since win against Canelo, or you always followed him? Nah, Crawford he became one of my favorite fighters the first time I watched him, and I'm talking about that was like 2 or 3 fights before Gamboa. The first time I watched Crawford, and I'm not sure if this is the exact year, but I know it's right around there, was about 2012 or 2013, but I'm not sure. It was, and that fight got televised. I think it was his second fight televised, or maybe first, where he had the big cornrows. And the video doesn't even look that good. It was a fight before he made his debut on ESPN. Because it's like he was in an ESPN substation, and then he went to ESPN. Like when you see the ESPN logo in the ring and everything. That first fight that I saw him, right there, he was one of my favorite fighters. And the way that I could tell you that I saw something in Crawford a long time ago that a lot of people didn't see. Yo, the second time that I saw him fighting was like maybe 1 fight before he fought Gamboa. Maybe 2, I'm not sure. And I called somebody up. Because I had already seen that first fight where he had the big cornrows. I called somebody that watches boxing, and I'm like, yo, bro, this dude's about to fight that I told you the other day, the Crawford guy. Yo, come through, bro. You got to see this dude. This dude can fight. My boy jumped in his car, drove over. Yo, let's watch this shit, bro. Couple of beers, some munchies. Let's see what's going on. And then after watching that fight, second fight, I only watched him. I told my boy, yo, this dude is special, bro. I can't see nobody in boxing that I see beating this guy. I had only seen him twice, bro. And I'm like, yo, nobody beating this guy. I don't want to hear it. Nobody beat this guy. Then, watch this. Watch this. When he was going to fight Gamboa, I told my boy, the same guy that came to my house to watch that fight, we call another one of my boys up, Julio. Yo, Julio, there's this guy that's going to fight, bro. You got to see this dude. And he loved watching boxing. That guy actually was at my house for Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. We be getting together for fight. So he like, Crawford, who the fuck is that? I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, man, this guy, you got to see it. And he like, all right, man, grab some beers. I got the food over here. Let's watch it in my house. Boom. We go to his house. And when we watched Crawford and Gamboa, that's it. I knew. My boy was like, yo, that guy can fight, bro. God damn, bro. I told you he can fight. So Crawford's been on my radar, bro, since he started getting put on TV. Been following Crawford from early. And you know what's interesting? Since I've been really honestly, because people jump in the bandwagon until I've been following him forever and never even seen him a single time before this past fight. I know there's a lot of people like that out there. But me following him from the very beginning when he started getting on TV, I can tell you, yo, there's always been a hate narrative on Terence Crawford his whole career. There's always been a narrative about how he ain't fight nobody, about how he ain't beat nobody, about how he's a hype job. The guys that he beat wasn't the same. There's always been that narrative, bro. When he got to 147, what was the narrative? That he didn't beat nobody. That he didn't belong in the ring with these guys. That he's not a big star like these guys. And what happened when he beat Errol? He finally became that star. But before that, I've been watching the whole story while it was playing out behind the scenes. When a lot of people, it's hard to say it because now everybody knows him, right? Everybody knows Terence Crawford. But I remember when that wasn't the case. I remember when Terence Crawford had 50,000 followers on Instagram. I remember when he had 20,000 followers. I remember when he didn't have that following. When most people, you will say, yo, Terence Crawford, who the hell is that? I remember that. And the narrative has always been a hateful one. They didn't want him to come up. They didn't want him to get the big fights. They didn't want him to get the big money. And now he's the face of boxing. $100 million baby. JJ's in their hands. The reason why I caught on early with Crawford was because my wife was born in Nebraska, Scottsbluff. Well, there you go. So she definitely knew about him. Omari, too many haters. Way too many haters, brother. Just look at what Terence Crawford been accomplishing, what he been doing. And then that hate has actually passed down to Shakur Stevenson. The same people that hate Terence Crawford hate Shakur Stevenson. Earlier, somebody came into the chat and he was like, yo, that they stripped Terence Crawford. And I hope Teofimo get knock out Shakur Stevenson. God damn. Why you hate these dudes like that? Brother, that's what I was waiting for. Listen, this fight right here, January 31st, is finally going to tell a lot of people who Shakur Stevenson is. This fight right here. The people that have been saying he's not that guy, this is what you're going to find out. Brother, what do you think about Shakur not wanting to fight Keyshawn? I respect it 100%. Matter of fact, not only I respect it, I'm impressed and I support it. I give them flowers, both of them. I'm actually the opposite of what most people say. And I'm going to tell you why, Broderick, I feel that way. I'm 47 years old, my guy. And at my age, one thing that I know, real friends, they hard to come by. They real hard to come by. Real people that's going to be there for you, that's going to rock with you when you up and when you down. It's not a lot of real people like that. Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis, they have that type of relationship where they both there for each other. They value that. So while everybody's money hungry, you could get a lot of money fighting each other. You could get more money. You can. What they're showing me is that they value their friendship more than they value money. That's actually to be commended. That's to be respected. Because they're not willing to sell their friendship. And let me tell you something. Right now, Shakur Stevenson has a lot of people that he could fight for millions of dollars. Keyshawn Davis also has a lot of people that he could fight for millions of dollars. Which means they don't have to sell their friendship for an amount of money. And they chose not to. You got to respect that. Remember that Jay Smith told you this, my peoples. You can make a lot of money, but you cannot buy friends. No buying friends. Can't buy them. People who try to buy friends, they get backstabbed all the time. You try to buy friends, guess what? You're going to be going into your house and find 4 motherfuckers in there setting you up. You try to buy friends, shit is going to happen to you. Because the money they can't make money off of you, they're going to find a way to take your money. Take what you got. Can't buy friends. So if these are two young, rich, black men, successful, why are they going to sell that friendship that they got going on when they know what friendship really means? Nah, you got to respect them. Friendship should not be for sale, my peoples. Now, if you told me that they both broke and they both struggling, then I would say, yo, y'all need to fight each other. You got to feed your family. You got to feed your kids. You got to take care of your home. Now you can fight each other because you need that money. But you both rich. You both making money. You both got mad potential opponents. The 140 division is stacked. They don't need each other. And then I asked the magic question. You yourself, if you don't want to do something, but a lot of people want you to do it, you're going to do it because they telling you to? Because if you do it, then you a fucking sheep. You a sheep. Yo, if I don't want to do something, I don't care who want me to do it. I'm not doing that shit. I don't want to do it. Do you do what you must do? But I'm not doing that shit. That's me. I ain't never been a sheep. So the same thing applies to them. If they don't want to fight each other, why should they? Y'all remember when we was in elementary school or when we was in junior high school, those two little kids that didn't want to fight each other, but people would make them fight? It'd be somebody behind one kid pushing them, fight, fight. And somebody behind the other one, fight, fight. He said this about you. No, he said that about you. And they push them into each other and grab each other, grab their hands and punch the other one with their hands until they make them fight. And it's like we grown men now, and it's like they trying to do the same thing to these guys. Nah, yo, but we cool. We close. We don't want to fight. Fight each other. You need to fight each other. You need to fight. Well, fuck you mean they need to fight each other? Why? Why they need to fight each other? I had somebody hit me up in the chat and tell me, Jay, you capping. You know they got to fight each other. What the fuck you mean they got to fight each other? Why they got to fight each other? To entertain you, to entertain me? Their friendship is more important than entertaining you and entertaining me. I respect that. I commend that. Omari, Abdullah gonna take them belts from them. Let's see how it plays out. But you have to remember, right now, Abdullah Mason is the young king coming up in the 135 division, and these guys are at 140. It could be years before we see any of these guys get in the ring with Abdullah Mason. Because Abdullah is the special type of fighter who's going to try to accomplish undisputed at 135. He's going to be there a while, and he's young. He's young. He's going to try to accomplish before going up to 140. So before Abdullah gets to 140, these guys might be at welterweight division. It could be years before we see Abdullah in the ring with Shakur, with Teofimo, or with Devin. That's a long time. Shakur hands. They too young for that. They don't remember that. Brought I'm dead. I mean, it's different with sports, though. That's valid. I like Abdullah a lot. Wolf in sheep clothing. Really got that dog in him. I wouldn't even known it by looking at him. Listen, man, Abdullah Mason, he a special fighter. And I said it before. When he was going to fight Sam Noakes, I said, this is the fight that's going to be Abdullah Mason's coming out party. Because I knew that Sam Noakes was going to give him a heck of a fight, and he was going to have to prove himself. He was going to have to earn that win. While a lot of people were saying, oh, Sam Noakes is going to get knocked out. He's going to get done up easily. He never been there with no Abdullah Mason. I said, listen, I don't know Sam Noakes like that, but I've been watching him, and based on what I see, he comes across like the type of opponent that you got to beat him up for 12 rounds. My peoples, 42 likes in almost 3 hours. In 3 hours of action, my peoples. Come on, man. I should have been like at 100 likes. Double tap that screen, my peoples. 3 hours of action. But Abdullah Mason, listen, in that fight, he showed his greatness. You know why? Because, and that happens to every fighter, you're not going to dominate every single opponent. Sam Noakes turned out to be that type of opponent that I predicted that he's going to be in front of you. He's going to eat everything you got, and he's going to throw a lot of punches at you. A la Marcos Maidana, that type of fighter. Sharper, but that type of fighter. He's not going to stop punching. So you know what happens when you face a guy like that? You're going to have to beat him at his own fight. That's what the great ones do. Instead of folding and trying to be defensive and get beat for the first time, you adapt, and I'm going to beat you at your own game. Go watch Floyd Mayweather versus Marcos Maidana. He had to beat him at his own game because this guy's not going to stop coming forward. He's not going to stop throwing punches. I'm going to have to beat you the way you fight. And that's what Abdullah Mason did. He showed us. He showed us he really has the appetite for that smoke. Lors, Mason up next. Be more homie. Much respect and blessings. Salute, family. Appreciate you dropping in. My peoples, I'm about to end this show. I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in. Yo, help me to get to 50 likes. While I end this show, help me to get to 50 likes because I'm about to give you the most serious Jay Stradamus words of the day this Friday morning. I promise you. Listen to this, my people, and remember what I'm telling you. The words that I'm telling you, you're familiar with them. Just make sure that you keep them there at all times. All money is not good money. All money is not good money, my peoples. Get me to 50 likes because I'm about to give you some good shit right now. I love you too, right? And subscribe to Box Center 2.0. Y'all see it right there. Mwah. Go watch TV. I'm coming right now. Okay, I'll go right now. Words of the day, my peoples. Remember that I told you. All good money is not good money. Have yourself a filter. And when I say have yourself a filter, don't be the person that's willing to do it all for money. Don't be the person that's willing to do anything for money. Because you end up regretting it. You'll end up regretting it, my peoples. And I'm going to tell you, I've been doing this right here for 2 years. Box Center has been going down for 2 years. Boxing for Breakfast has been going down for a few months. I got a couple of offers. I could have signed a couple of contracts already, but guess what? I was gonna get jerked. I was gonna get jerked. A little bit of upfront money, and then I was fucked because I signed a contract. So all money is not good money, my peoples. Always wait for the right time and take that good money. You know the difference between good money and bad money. We all know it. And I'm telling you this because that's been a main focus with Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, that they're going to make a lot of money, that if they friends, they can make that money together. People are so money hungry that they don't give a damn about a friendship. They don't give a damn about a bond that these two guys have. So there's two things that I want you to understand. Number one, friendship is more important than money. You can make money, but you cannot buy. You can't use that money to buy friendships. So once you have a real one by your side, don't trade them away for money, because the money you can spend it, but you're not going to be able to buy another real one to replace him. So always remember, my people, your relationship, the real ones, they cost more than money. Not a lot of people out there that really got your back. Not a lot of people out there that's really on your side. That costs more than money, my peoples. Don't forget that. There's the word of the day. All money is not good money, and relationships are more important. Top G Cat, what's your prediction on the Teo versus Shakur fight, bro? So my official prediction, right there, Box Center 2.0, my brother. First of all, that's the only place where you can catch Goofiest of the Oofiest on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. But that's also where I'm making all my official predictions as Jay Stradamus. My peoples, I'm about to end this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Damn, y'all didn't get me to 50 likes. 3 hours cooking this sweet science for y'all. Y'all didn't get me to 50 likes. Those of you who ghost watching, double tap that screen. Real talk. But I hope you guys enjoy this episode of Boxing for Breakfast, my peoples. It's Friday. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. Tomorrow we're going to be talking boxing like we do. Salute to everybody, man. I enjoyed the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. JJ Sendejas, MAW, Top G Cat, Doctors Best 07. Ooh, hit the like button right before I end it. Let me find out y'all gonna help me get to 50 before I end this live. JJ Sendejas was in the building. Who else was in here? Loris Ware in the building. Broderick was, yo, I appreciate it. And you guys know that I like to end the show. Omari was in the house. You guys know I like to end the show with the shout-outs, because Boxing for Breakfast would not be the same without you guys. You make this show what it is. That's why you see when somebody who don't know shit about boxing show up talking goofy shit, I block them quick. We trying to build a community of people who actually know what the hell's going on. You guys know who's fighting next month, who's a goofball for stripping Terrence Crawford. You guys know what's going on in boxing, so you make this conversation what it is. Salute to everybody who tuned in this morning, my peoples. I'm going to see you guys for tomorrow's episode of Boxing for Breakfast, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Yo, one love, everybody. And whoever's going to be goofy, they get that 24. I'm out of here, y'all. Bam.